You and the entrances, I don't know.
Ooh, dig it. Ooh, you know you love the entrances.
Well, welcome to Cheap Pops. I'm Dave.
I'm the Macho Nick. Dig it.
Yeah, you sure are. Oh man, there's a lot of wrestling to talk about. If you've never seen the show before, we talk wrestling, but we also talk movies because there's actually a couple movies that we're going to talk about. And, video games, all kinds of stuff like that. But, I mean, as you can see, we're wrestling fans. I mean, we've got, wrestlers everywhere. There's a lot of wrestling that we're going to have to preview. Well, we don't have to, but we're going to. I mean, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wrestling events that are going to be happening within a 2-week period, and like 5 of them are in like a 4-day period. That's crazy. Yeah, crazy. I mean, but if you're a wrestling fan, it's cool. One thing, I don't know if you saw this news. It's rumored that WWE has helped TNA, and they're going to be getting a better TV deal, a weekly TV deal. That's not on Access. It's going to be something different. They're going to have wider coverage, and they're going to be getting TV rights. So they're going to be getting money. They're going to be getting paid to be on, which is great.
Yes.
They get more. Well, I mean, they've been getting more exposure with this crossover with NXT and TNA, and WWE's got contacts. They have contacts within the business with major networks. I mean, even if they get on a smaller network. I mean, NXT's on the CW. That's national broadcast. TNA needs more exposure.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy about that. You suggested a movie to me, Heads of State with John Cena and Idris Elba. I just watched it yesterday. And also Jack Quaid from The Boys is in it as well. I really liked this movie. I thought it was a good, buddy, action movie. Not really buddies because they were kind of at odds with each other.
Yeah.
But Idris Elba plays the Prime Minister of England, and John Cena is the President of the United States. He was also an actor. It's kind of like if Arnold Schwarzenegger became, President of the United States. To me, though, it had too much of the same dynamic they had in the Suicide Squad with Peacemaker and it wasn't Deadshot, was it?
Yeah, it was
Deadshot. Yeah, because the other one was Bloodsport and Suicide Squad. I thought it was good, though.
No, it was Bloodsport.
Was it? Well, whatever. Great jokes, awesome action. I thought the music placement, the way they placed the music in it was really good, too. Thought the plot was really good. I really enjoyed it, so that was a good
choice.
Good choice by you. That was on Netflix, right? Or was it on Prime?
On Prime.
On Prime, okay. And then Minecraft. What'd you think of Minecraft?
I still got to finish watching it. I tried to watch it today, but I had to finish up the other pick. If you want, we can hold off on it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to give a spoiler review. I was just going to say what I thought of it. But one thing I will. All right.
You take the reign on this one.
Jack Black and Jason Momoa are the main characters in this. This movie reminds me why I don't like Jack Black. He doesn't need to sing in every movie. I get that Tenacious D is popular and, he's known for singing, but to me, this was not needed in this movie at all. He's always got to sing for no reason. I thought it was a very entertaining movie. I've never played Minecraft, but I thought it was really good how I know enough about Minecraft that I got the idea of the movie. Did you say
Minecraft or Minecraft?
I don't know. I don't care. But... Yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought the way they incorporated it was real. I'm kind of like the Super Mario Brothers movie. The plot followed the game. It just, not the original Super Mario from the 80s, but, the newer one. But I like it when the movie kind of follows the storyline or the direction of the game. So, but I wrote very entertaining movie, but still can't stand Jack Black. But when you watch the whole thing, we'll review it more. I'm really excited to go see Superman, even though I'm not a big fan of Superman. I want to see what James Gunn does with it.
Yeah.
And Crypto being in it, just, for me, they pull out Superman when they want to sell more merchandise.
Yeah.
To me, it's never that they want to do a movie. It's they want to sell more merch. Batman, at least, it's so popular that, they do more with it.
I can't wait for the new Batman movie.
Yeah, they're doing another one, right? A new Batman.
Yes, with
I can't think of the guy's name either. The dude, is it the dude from Twilight that's going to be in this one again? That's cool.
Robert Paxton.
Yeah, Pattinson. Yeah, Pattinson. Yeah, and Fantastic Four. The new Fantastic Four is coming out. I can't wait to see.
I can't wait for that either.
I do want to go see 28 Years Later, because I saw 28 Days Later and I saw 28 Months Later. So
yep, 28 months later.
So I do want to go see that. From what I've heard, it's pretty intense. Like, it's a lot. Well, I mean, you have to kind of ramp it up at that point, But I can't wait to go see that. There's not a lot of movies that I've been really paying attention. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go see the new Jurassic World as well, but might.
I might actually go see it.
Yeah, I mean, I like going to the movies. I have a good time. Every once in a while I'll buy the special popcorn things. I've noticed that the Red Hulk one, the more I go, the cheaper it gets, the popcorn thing. So I'm like, if it gets down to like $20 and they still have one, I might snag it because I got my whole Hulk set up.
Yes,
I might have something to go with it. So,
and plus, the Red Hulk is kind of cool.
It is. So if you think of more movies, like you find a good movie that we should watch, we'll do that. I found a couple of movies with wrestlers in them that I want to watch.
The Monster one. I want to check that one.
Brawl. Yeah, I want to watch that. I just ordered Boone the Bounty Hunter, which Johnny Nitro is the main character in it. So I want to.
I just actually snagged that one up that you suggested. Monsters one.
Yep.
On Amazon Prime.
Okay. Yeah, I like doing the ones that have the wrestlers in them, like the Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies.
Oh my god, fucking campy.
It was so campy, but it's so good. You know what I mean? Like. Unlike that Winnie the Pooh movie that you had me watch, that was campy but not good. But,
you love that Winnie the Pooh movie.
I like the second one. I actually enjoyed the second one, so I'm kind of interested to see where they go with the third one.
All right, but I have a gift for you.
Oh yeah.
This is one of your gifts.
Yep, the custom
Hulk Hogan,
WCW Hulk Hogan
from Uncensored '96. And I found a double of this, so this. It's just for you.
Oh, Brock Lesnar. Yeah. This, if you don't know, these have been coming out at Walmart. There's a display that has wrestlers in it. That's where I got this NWO Hulk Hogan and the NWO Great Muta.
And these been flying off the shelves, the Great Muta.
Yeah. This is really cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But also on there, yes, I opened them all. Jerry the King Lawler. This Ted DiBiase, they call it the Trillionaire Ted, which is what Hogan called him when they were in WCW. That's the Build-A-Figure.
That looks sweet.
Yeah, so I got the Jerry the King Lawler. This wasn't on the display, but I got it. The 2005/2006 Kurt Angle.
I have this Kurt Angle, and I put the world title on him.
That's really cool. I like this one a lot. I like the tag team of Fraxium, so I bought Axiom, and it came with the little NXT tag title too. Ooh. So I like that. And this was part of the display. This is the SummerSlam display. Albert, I love this. The Attitude Era, mid-card guys. Like, Chris Van Vliet just did an interview with Steve Blackman. I want a Steve Blackman Monday Night War figure.
Yes!
And this I saw at Target. It came with the WCW 1992-93 title.
93.
Ron Simmons. This is really cool, too. I've met Ron Simmons, which you pointed out to me.
Yes.
And look at how good that looks, other than a couple scuff marks on it.
And I'm so glad I came across this for you.
Yeah, I mean, the belt is a little worn at one spot, but this is the Galoob Hulk Hogan figure.
And I wasn't too sure if he had this or not, and I'm so glad I texted him.
From 1994, it'll go good with my Jimmy Hart one. This is really cool, so thank you for pointing that out.
You're welcome.
This is for you.
Yeah.
That was also in the SummerSlam display. The Invisible John Cena. And, of course, there were two, so I grabbed one for me as well. You got me this, and I love this. Sid Justice. Sid was one of the coolest guys I've ever met, and this is... The basic ones, sometimes they do really good on them, and it's kind of hard to screw up Sid's face, so I really like this one. To go with my Golga figure, I kind of want to do an entire Oddities whole thing. I found a cool Luna Vachon that was around that time, but Kurgan, he's got the tie-dye shirt on and the tights that he wore when he was part of the Oddities.
Is he staying in the box?
Probably not, because I'm going to do a whole... But the guy that has done my custom Hacksaw Jim Duggan that I have outside, I forgot to show it. I'm thinking about doing a Giant Silva to go with it, and the Insane Clown Posse to go with it.
Actually, see if he could do a custom of Kurgan.
Well, I like this one, so I might just use this one. But to do ICP, look just like they did when they came out for SummerSlam '98 with them, I think that would be really cool.
Yes.
And if I can get the Luna one, like I want it, that would be really cool.
And you got 3 more to show off over there, buddy boy.
This was at Target.
Ooh.
And Hulk Hogan where he's got his bandana in his mouth, so I really like that. And it's got the red Hulkamania shirt with the yellow letters, and it's got the heavyweight title that he wore before he got beat by Andre the Giant. Now this one I had found at Target. It's the Chase Rosie figure, but I'm not going to show you the one that I got because it doesn't have the sticker on it. But on clearance for $11.50, the Chase Rosie, where he was the superhero in training. Of course, they're not going to write that on there because of what it spelled, but that's for you. Because they had 2. So I have one that doesn't have the clearance sticker on it. So that one's going to go in a protector, and I'm going to open this one because I'm going to put that with my other Rosie, and I'm going to put it with my Hurricane and my Mighty Molly. It'll look really cool all together. So
I might actually see if I can put heat on that and take that sticker right off.
It probably wouldn't be that hard, but
actually, if you can get the WCW Sting, that would go great on him. Actually,
yeah, probably. Yeah, I like that. So just like showing off some of the stuff that we've got.
Yes.
Grab your sign because it's time while you're taking a drink.
Drum roll, maestro.
I'm not doing a drum roll. Nick's time for Nick's picks, and I have to admit, you're so weird. You picked some good ones. I have to say.
Yes, we had to pick some good ones at the some of the horrible ones.
Yeah. Beach Blast from WCW 1992. Eric Bischoff, Tony Schiavone hosting. They brought out Bill Watts. This might have been right around the beginning of the Bill Watts era.
What kind of...
I mean, he did good things and he did bad things, in my opinion. The whole no jumping off the top rope was stupid, in my opinion.
It was really stupid.
And the guys landing on concrete really wasn't great, in my opinion, but whatever.
And and throwing your opponent over the top rope in a DQ. I couldn't stand that.
They did that for way too long. But Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura on commentary, they had a really combative way of going, kind of like JR and Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
When Heyman came in to replace King.
The next year's one was...
Oh, yeah, it was really good. The opening match, the light heavyweight title, Flying Brian Pillman, who came in as the champion against Scotty Flamingo, also known as Johnny Polo, also known as Raven. Ooh. I thought this was a really good match. The thing is that if you're expecting the light heavyweight title in '92 to be cruiserweight or X Division style no, that's not the way it was. Yes, no. Flying Brian did high flying stuff, but that's not what you're getting out of this match. It was a good match. I mean, Flying Brian and Raven, I mean, you got... And this is when Raven was, he was doing being a regular wrestler. He wasn't doing the Raven slacker kind of gimmick, so... But Brian Pillman did a faceplant dive onto the ramp, and Scotty Flamingo rolled him up and new light heavyweight champion. I mean, it was the opening match. I'm not going to go blow by blow. Did you like this one?
Yes, I did.
I did too. And then they had Johnny B. Bad hosting a bikini contest with Medusa and Missy Hyatt. which I don't know why they said bikini contest, because there was 3 different rounds, and Missy Hyatt wore bikini in 2 rounds of it, but whatever.
I think the evening gown was the first round.
Yeah, exactly. So Medusa and Missy Hyatt, 2 very hot women, you know, whatever. Johnny B. Bad was more Little Richard than Little Richard. He was great at it. It was a great character, you know, good for Dusty Rhodes on coming up with it.
And we loved meeting him.
Yeah, Mark Merrow's a cool dude. He's a really positive guy. I think the Johnny B. Bad character was perfect for him. I think he did it really well.
If we ever get a chance to meet him again, I would love to meet him again.
I would too. I would.
I had a couple of picks, and I sent some of them to you for where we had to pick 5 superstars for.
Yes, I have that on my phone as well. So
I gotta because, like I said, I'm still going through some of the old ones to make that
right. But I mean, the Medusa and Missy Hyatt in evening gowns, they just kind of walk down the ramp and back a little bit, or whatever. The next match, the Tailor-Made Man, Terry Taylor against Ron Simmons. Bill Alfonso was the referee. That's, you know, back when he was doing that, so that's cool.
Oh, God, yes.
I thought it was a good match. Ron Simmons won with a power slam. I mean, Terry Taylor could never shake off being the Red Rooster, so, you know, what are you going to... You know, the Tailor-Made Man, he was pretty much just a rip-off of the $1 Million Man, which Mike Rotunda would do years later in WCW, just another rip-off of the $1 Million Man, before $1 Million Man actually came into WCW, so it wasn't really exciting. I mean, Ron Simmons is a beast, and they were building him up to become world champion at this point.
Which I am surprised that Bill Watts pulled the trigger on that.
I'm really glad they did.
Yes.
He's a legit dude. I wish he would have gotten that chance in WWF. But,
right.
You know, so Ron Simmons wins with the power slam. I think, like, on matches like this, we're good for Jesse Ventura to be on commentary because he's a really good color analyst, and I think he does really good calling, you know, good matches like this. So. Then this match, I put, how was this a pay-per-view match? Marcus Bagwell against Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Oh my God, yeah.
No shade on Greg the Hammer Valentine. But in 1992, to be going up against a young guy like Marcus Bagwell, it just... And he beat him with a figure 4. Like, who are you building in this match? Like, you didn't make Marcus Bagwell look any good.
No.
Just, whatever. I don't know.
And we've met Marcus Bagwell, and he's a really cool dude.
He's a really cool dude. I've met Greg Valentine was really, really cool. So
actually, Greg Valentine's actually one of the ones I picked.
All right, cool. This match, to me, was the match of the night. Falls Count Anywhere.
Yes!
Title. The WCW Champion Sting against Cactus Jack.
Bang!
The fight goes all over ringside, a lot on the ramp. This, to me, is... I know that the match with Flair at Clash of Champions really made him a star. I think this one is the one that made him a megastar. This is what catapulted Sting to be main event status, in my opinion.
And the tough...
It showed a tough nature of Sting. Like, granted, he's the WCW champion at this point, but I think he needed this match to show what he could really do against a real heel. I mean, you're building him up for Vader at this point, so you need a guy like Mick Foley that can make him look tough, and also Mick Foley can still keep his heat. You know, Sting won with a flying clothesline on the ramp. You know, he dove over the top rope. No, he was on the second rope. He was on the second rope because if he went over the top, he would have been DQ, which is...
actually, it was no DQ match.
That's true, it was. You're right for once. And then an Iron Man match, 30-minute Iron Man.
I have to say this is the second match of the night. Yeah,
I agree. Paulie Dangerously and Medusa banned from ringside because Rick Rude was part of the Dangerous Alliance at this point. I prefer this Iron Man to Brett versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
Yes.
I think this one was better. And don't get me wrong, WrestleMania 12 was a great match, but I think this one was better. I thought it was great that Ricky Steamboat got a fall with a backslide.
Yes, and that was... Oh,
I wish they would do stuff like that more often where guys would use the backslide and get a quick pin like that.
Right.
It ended up 3 against 3, and then Steamboat pulled ahead with 30 seconds left. and then Rick Rude was frantic to catch up at the end, and but he ended up losing. So I thought it was amazing, and I mean, this was kind of towards the end of where Steamboat was going to be. I mean, he hurt his back in '94, so you know he didn't have much left longer. But.
Wasn't it against Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yes, yeah, he ended up landing in the ring on his tailbone, and it fucked up his back. So then they did the round 2 of the bikini contest. This time it said swimsuits, but Medusa came out in a one-piece swimsuit. Missy Hyatt had a bikini on. So, and then round 3 they both had bikinis, which I'm not complaining because they're both amazing. But,
right.
I really enjoyed the next match. The Dangerous Alliance, Arn Anderson, Steve Austin, stunning Steve Austin at this point, and Bobby Eaton against Nikita Koloff, Barry Windham, and Dustin Rhodes. Think of the talent in that match. Even Nikita Koloff, he wasn't the greatest wrestler, but as far as a talent,
he was
awesome.
great.
He was great. Ole Anderson as referee. I wish Austin could have wrestled like this during the Attitude Era, but due to the knee injuries, he couldn't bump like he used to. So,
because of the neck injury.
Yep. I mean, you saw a little bit of this kind of Steve Austin in like 95, 96, but once his knees started bothering him, he really couldn't bump like he used to. And then, like you said, with the neck, he couldn't. I mean, if you watch Attitude Era, Stone Cold, he's not taking a lot of bumps. He's just not. He's doing a lot of mud hole stomping and Luthez presses, and it's. I don't want to say a formula, but it kind of is that.
Well, I was surprised that he took the concrete bump that he did at WrestleMania with Kevin Owens.
Oh, Kevin Owens, yeah. And you like to talk about this. Behind the hard camera right now is Fully Loaded 1999 because it's July. I wanted to put a July pay-per-view on. This is my favorite part of the whole pay-per-view. Jeff Jarrett wins a match, retains the NWA North American title. Austin's music hit, dead sprint to the ring, stunner, and then he cuts a promo. Awesome. Just leading up to the First Blood match with The Undertaker in the main event. One of the coolest things ever. I think this is better than when he stunned Jarrett on Raw and did the strut. I think this one is better because he just does a full fucking dead run to the ring and hits him with a stunner. Love that. Just a little thing I wanted to throw in there.
Yes.
The Alliance got DQ'd by, I think Arn Anderson jumped off the top rope like
we said. It was just stupid. The top rope thing.
Yeah, it was. And then they did the bikini contest for round 3. I don't know if there was I think it was a poll on that 900 number.
Yeah,
who the winner was. And do you remember what the main event was?
And I just got done watching it this morning too. Shit, I can't remember.
Tag team titles: Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Dr. Death Steve William against the Steiner brothers.
Because I want to talk about the next one that we picked, especially what Jesse the Body said to Shivani.
Yeah. It was a hard-hitting match, but I don't think this match lived up to the hype.
No.
The hype on, you got the two roughest guys in Japan against, the Steiner brothers, who are considered the two roughest guys in the U.S.
If you ask me, the main event should have been the Iron Man match.
I agree. I think if they actually had... I think the Sting Cactus Jack match should have been the main event, to be honest.
One of those two should have been the main event.
Yeah, I think you could make a case for either one. Don't get me wrong, this was still a good match, but I think it went on too long, and it didn't live up to it. Scott Steiner hit a Frankensteiner right at the bell. He timed it perfect. It was crazy. But a time limit draw for the tag titles to end a pay-per-view. I think that at that point, that's Bill Watch booking as if it was just a regular TV show.
Yeah.
And people were going to be watching next week. Sometimes the old school mentality works and sometimes it doesn't. But that's just my opinion. But,
can I get it out for the next one?
Get your sign out again. But he picked Beach Blast 1993. I'm not complaining.
The year I was born.
Yep.
Because They only did 2 Beach Blast pay-per-views.
That's true. And then changed to Bash at the Beach the next year.
Yep.
This time, Eric Bischoff and Missy Hyatt hosting. I mean, Missy Hyatt's got the one-piece swimsuit on. Bischoff's got the Hawaiian shirt and the shorts. It's a beach theme. What I'm not mad at it. I mean, when they do Halloween Havoc, or back in the day when they did Halloween Havoc, they used to dress up. So whatever. But Tony Schiavone and Jesse Ventura on commentary, so that was cool.
I can't remember what match it was, but I love the bantering where Tony Schiavone says, "Are you even watching? Are we even watching the same match?" And Jesse Ventura goes, "Are we even watching the same referee?"
Yeah. It was kind of like on SummerSlam '89 where Schiavone says, it happened outside the ring, and Ventura says, What? So if you have a gun, you can shoot a guy because it's outside the ring? You're even dumber than Monsoon.
No, dumber than McMahon.
Was it McMahon? Well,
yes.
Yeah. I thought he was the stupidest guy alive. Just so they continued that here, which is awesome. But the starts off with somebody who was on the pay-per-view last time for the TV title, Ron Simmons against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
I hated the finish to this. I think it was this match right here that he said it.
Probably. A very good match, 2 great pros. I mean, Orndorff wasn't in his prime, but he was still really good, and Simmons was in his prime, so... DQ for a backdrop over the top rope, and Orndorff retains. I think that finish on a pay-per-view is just stupid.
It is.
If you're going to further it, have Orndorff hold the tights and screw him out of it so he's got a gripe. The DQ over the top rope thing is just dumb.
That, or have him hit him with a chair or something.
Hit him with the belt,
yes.
Just fuck him some way, but to me, I don't understand. Too Cold Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell against Tex Slasinger and Shanghai Pierce. Yeah, that's a weird... For you don't know, Tex Slasinger and Shanghai Pierce, that's the Godwins. Before they were the Godwins. So.
Which is funny. And Too Cold Scorpio in WCW at this point.
Yeah. Before he got fired for smoking marijuana. But, I thought it was a good match. I love old school tag matches like this. And Too Cold Scorpio wins with a 450 splash.
Nice.
That's what you want to see out of Too Cold Scorpio.
Yes.
So, and then this next match. Eric Watts versus Lord Steven Regal.
Oh my God.
Jeez, I wonder who the booker was. Eric Watts, Bill Watts.
But did you notice the mistake that they made? With Eric Watts' entrance, they said Lord Steven Regal with...
Oh, I didn't see that.
I did.
I wrote, Regal isn't a miracle worker.
No.
He gets the win in a bad match. I watched the match, but I didn't really pay attention because it was horrible.
I watched bits and pieces of it.
Like when Lord Steven Regal was trying to get offense out of Bill, or stuff out of Bill Goldberg. It was better than this. This was just, it was bad.
This is just dog shit.
And if you can't get a good match with Lord Steven Regal,
the fuck?
That means you suck. I'm sorry. I'm sure Eric Watts is a good guy, but nah, sorry.
No, thank you.
Johnny B. Bad against Max Payne.
This was a pretty good match.
It was. Max Payne was also Man Mountain Rock in WWF after he left WCW. Max Payne played the guitar to the ring. That was really cool. Johnny B. Bad had a mask on because he used to use the Bad Blaster, and Max Payne shot a fireball out of the Bad Blaster into Johnny B. Bad's face, and Johnny B. Bad was... It was pretty much just an excuse so that Johnny B. Bad didn't have to wear the makeup anymore. Because he was being Little Richard, but I think they wanted to tone down the Little Richard stuff a little bit. Because if you notice, after that, he really didn't do the Little Richard voice all that much anymore, so that was pretty cool. Johnny B. Bad got the win. That's what I was expecting anyways. The tag team titles. This match, this was really, really good. The members of the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Paul Roma. I know a lot of people complain about Paul Roma being in the Four Horsemen. Steve Mongo McMichael was a Four Horseman at one point. Come on. I mean... Dean Malenko. I like Dean Malenko. Great wrestler. Awesome in the Cruiserweight division. Not a Four Horseman. Sorry. In my opinion. But against the Hollywood Blondes, Flying Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin. Hall of Fame talent across the board. I even say that for Paul Roma. He was awesome in Power and Glory, and the tag team were pretty wonderful with Mr. Wonderful, and WCW was really good. He had a singles run for a little bit. Watch his match at, I think it's Slamboree 95 with Alex Wright. Awesome match. He does an elbow drop in that match that's just fucking amazing. It reminds me of when Kairi Sane does her insane elbow. That's the height that Paul Roma gets on his. It's really good. Austin used the tights to win, and the Blondes retained. This is another example of how good Austin was in the ring. Same with Flying Brian. And I don't think Arn Anderson gets the credit for how good he was either. But.
And tragically, his career was cut short because of surgery.
His neck too, yeah. And it wasn't even because his neck was that bad. It was a surgeon fucked it up, you know. But, and then, for the second year in a row, we get another Iron Man match for the U.S. title.
Well, this one, the year prior, was not for the U.S. title.
That's right. Rick Rude against Dustin Rhodes.
And this was a really, really good match.
It was. Dustin was really young in the business at this point, and Rude still, I would say he was still in his prime. I mean, he got injured 2 years later, or a year later. But Rude went up 1-0, and Dustin tied it up with 3 minutes left and went to a time limit draw. You know, Dustin retained the title. It was a good match. I'm just never big on the time limit draw thing, but you know, that's what. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Iron Man matches either.
If you ask me, it should have went into sudden death. They should have done another sudden death.
Yeah, I like that, but like the one people talk about this one all the time, and I think this is the worst Iron Man match of all time: The Rock and Triple H. Other than The Undertaker coming back as the American Badass, I think that's the only thing that saved that match.
Yes.
It wasn't good to me, but Kurt Angle against Brock Lesnar, awesome Iron Man match.
Kurt and Shawn Michaels was a pretty good one.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's not a good match concept in my opinion, but what do I know? I'm just a wrestling fan. The NWA title, Ric Flair against Barry Windham. Barry Windham came in as champ. I thought it was a good match. I think it was...
Yes, I just wooed.
Yeah, I know you did. For me, the Barry Windham got pinned with the figure 4. I get that the whole thing is that you're supposed to be in so much pain that you fall back and your shoulders are down for a 3 count.
That's not pinning.
Yeah, to me, if like you put so much pressure on him that he sat up and then you got him with like a small package or something out of it, I think that would be better. But I understand, the logic of it, but it's just not for me. So new NWA champ, Ric Flair.
For the 10th time.
Yep, 10th time. So, and then, do you remember what the main event was?
I think it was a tag match.
Yep.
But I can't remember who it was.
The Masters of the Powerbomb, Vader with Harley Race, and Sid Vicious with Colonel Robert Parker.
And Sting and British Bulldog.
Yep, the superpowers. British Bulldog doing a stalling vertical suplex on Vader. Fucking stunning. I mean, yes, Vader has to go up for it, and he has to use his athleticism too.
But him holding him?
Yeah, I mean, Vader, has to straighten out, and he has to, distribute his weight, but still, that's just fucking bonkers. Vader hit a moonsault, but Sting vaulted over the top rope off of the ramp to break it up, and Bulldog pinned Vader with a crucifix. I thought it was really, really good. So, anything you want to talk about? Any game stuff or anything that you've got?
The new DLC that just dropped with the Monster Abyss in it.
Dude, that's badass, man.
And I already showed you where I played a couple of matches already.
Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to get my list of the guys that we want to meet at the next thing. But I need to get the game. I really, really do. But
one of the picks is Ted DiBiase.
I've met him. He's really nice.
Ron Simmons.
Okay.
What was the other one I sent you the other day? I don't know.
Okay, so I'll go with mine. I picked Haku, and yes, I've met Haku, but it was during COVID, and the picture that I have Oh, Jimmy Garvin. Yeah, Jimmy Garvin. That's good. The picture has a former friend in it, and I really don't want to crop out the picture. I just want to get a new one, and I want to meet Haku again.
Right, and wasn't I in the picture?
Yes.
I think all three of us were.
Yes, but I think that was the one where shit went south with me and him, so.
The last but not least, I would love to meet the Great Muta.
That one, I mean, that would be cool too.
But we were saying realistic.
Yeah, I don't think it's... I mean, you might be able to get him over, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get him over here for the Wrestling Classic, but I agree. So my first choice, Haku, then Bob Holly.
Yes.
I've always wanted to meet Bob Holly. The Barbarian. I met Barbarian way back in like 2008. Did not get a picture with him. The choice was a picture and an autograph. So I got an autograph, which is on my Powers of Pain WWF magazine, which now has the Warlord on it as well. I want to get a picture of Barbarian.
Ooh, if you could get an option, get your Warlord action figure autographed.
Yeah. And Nick Nemeth, also known as Dolph Ziggler. I really want to meet Nick Nemeth. My other choice, I know he works for WWE, but he works for NXT, really. And sometimes they do outside stuff. I want to meet Steve Corino.
Yes!
If you can get Steve Corino, that would be awesome. But I'm going to throw a little... If you can't get Steve Corino, Steve Blackman.
Yes!
Want to meet Steve Blackman. He just did an interview with Chris Van Vliet. I haven't seen him do signings in a long time. Get Steve Blackman. That's what I want to see most of all. But that's my list. I think they're realistic. You know, I think Steve Corino has done appearances in New Jersey at certain stuff, so I don't see why. I mean, if he's not doing stuff, why can't he? And he's living up here, why can't he do an appearance? But so that's our list. I will post the list on our Facebook, and I will tag Heroes Hideout and Captain's Corner in it.
Another one.
Yep.
Michael P.S. Hayes.
That one might be tough.
Yeah.
Because he works in creative in WWE.
True.
But I agree, I would really enjoy that as well. I mean, there's lots of names. I mean, I could pick people all day long that I want to meet.
Same.
You know.
I wish I would have gotten a picture with them, but I'm hoping that they could get the Ultimo Dragon again.
Yeah. I think Ultimo Dragon would be really cool. There's a lot. The thing is that it's usually on a Saturday. So there's a lot of like AEW names I'd like to, pitch, but if they're on Collision, you're not going to be able to get them on a Saturday. So the TNA names are more more realistic because they record on Thursday and their pay-per-views are usually on Sunday. So theirs is a little more wide open. But
Joe Hendry.
I would love to meet Joe Hendry if that was possible. My thing is that I think his contract is up soon, and I think he's going straight to WWE, but.
Right here, either Mark Henry or D'Lo Brown.
Yep, I've met them both, but that would be cool as well. Because I don't think Mark Henry is working for anybody right now.
He's working behind the scenes for WWE.
Is he? Well,
and he's going to be part of one of the DLC packs.
That's cool. Like I said, I need to get the game, but there is a lot of stuff that the DLCs are really cool. I commented on 2K's post on Facebook where they're announcing the stuff for the DLC. Bring back where you can use your own entrance music in the game. It's not that hard to make that a feature. Change it back to where you can do that stuff. That really needs to be a new... I mean, it can't be that hard to patch it up where you can do that or in the next version of the game. That really needs to be a feature that needs to come back because I think it's one of the coolest things you can do with it.
I think it's cool that they have where they brought Shaq in. I want to see Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done Rodman. That
NWO Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, I'd even like to see them. One of his skins be when he was with Hogan at Bash on the Beach '95, and he was wearing all Hogan stuff. I think that would be cool too. So yeah, I'd like to see them do Karl Malone.
Right?
That's
none of these newer basketball players that they have.
No, fuck that.
It's like no. No,
just because you want to get some credibility for it, do people that actually wrestle.
Yes.
But there is a lot of stuff to preview. I'm going by date on when they're going to happen. So, Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor on the 11th of July. They're doing, I don't know why they're doing an interim women's TV title. Unfortunately, I haven't watched Ring of Honor a lot. I did watch this past week's, but it says to be determined. So, obviously, on this coming episode, before the actual event, they're going to announce who's in it. So, can't really, predict who's going to be in that one. The TV title, Nick Wayne against Titan, or Teton, or from Mexico. I have no idea. But I like Nick Wayne from AEW, so I didn't know he was the TV champ. Or maybe I did, I can't remember. Pure Championship, Lee Moriarty, who's the champion against Blue Panther. I don't know Blue Panther. I've heard that he's like a Mexican legend, so I guess that's cool. The tag titles, the Sons of Texas, the champions, which is Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes, against the Infantry, Sean Dean and Carly Bravo. I think they're going to have Dustin and Sammy lose the titles at this point because they've had it for a while. And I feel like they're going to break those guys up at this point. And then the women's title, Athena, who is coming in as the champion against Thunder Rosa. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on Thunder Rosa. They haven't done it yet. I don't think they're going to do it. I think she's the Lance Archer of the women's division. They just ain't going to do shit with them now. And
it's a shame.
Yep, and then the world title, I think this is going to be a really good match. Bandito, the Ring of Honor champion, against Konosuke Takeshita. I think that's going to be a banger of a match and a great main event. So, and Chris Jericho is nowhere to be found. So
thank God.
That's great. And so that's on Friday, the 11th, and then the 12th. There are three events.
Woo!
2 from WWE and 1 from AEW. Saturday night's main event. These are the only matches announced so far. Randy Orton against Drew McIntyre.
Ooh.
That'll be really good. LA Knight against Seth Rollins. Can't go wrong there. And then for the World Heavyweight title, Gunther against, I'm going to say it, Bill Goldberg, because I like Bret Hart and I know it pisses people off. Bill Goldberg. Please do not have Goldberg win the belt in this match. Please. He's past his prime. I get that you think this is going to help. Have him lose his last match. Fuck, you had Kurt Angle lose his last match,
right?
With Baron Corbin,
and you did not let him choose who his opponent was.
Yeah,
Vince.
And I mean, and Goldberg, yes, is 10 times the star that Baron Corbin is, but he's way past his prime. So, I mean, I'll watch it. I'm not really looking forward to it because I anticipate Goldberg winning the title, and I really hope that's not the case. So, and then later on, or I don't know, might be earlier in the day, the NXT Great American Bash, Javon Evans against Jasper Troy. If you don't know who Jasper Troy is, he won the first season of LFG, Legends and Future Greats. Comes out with a chain, just like Abyss. Wears the cut-off vest, just like Abyss. Does the Black Hole Slam, just like Abyss. But he's impressive. He's a huge dude. I already, on our last episode, I talked about my idea for having Abyss make a cameo in the Royal Rumble, and it involved Jasper Troy. Go back and check that out, because I'm not going to rehash it on this one. You should watch more. Watch more of our stuff, just saying. Falls Count Anywhere, NXT North American Championship. The champion Ethan Page against Ricky Saints. I think they're going to give the title back to Ricky Saints, but I mean, if Ethan Page kept it, I wouldn't be mad because I think Ethan Page is good as well. The NXT Women's North American Championship, Sol Ruka, the champion, versus Izzy Dame. Some of these names are just, but...
you love it, you know it.
Right. I think that Tatum Paxley, who is kind of conflicted of who she's going with, is going to end up screwing up and costing Sol Ruka the championship, but I don't know. I do enjoy NXT. I really do. I think it's Shawn Michaels is the right guy to steer the ship on that show. It just they have so many people.
So much talent.
it's an embarrassment of riches with how many people they have on the roster and good people they have on the roster. They have to do multi-person matches and they're doing 3 events, in one weekend because they have so many people on the roster. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe was Mariah May in AEW against JC Jane and Fallon Henley in the tag match. And then for the NXT Championship, Obafemi coming in as champion against Yoshiki Inamura. I don't really care about Inamura, but I don't think they wanted to put Jasper Troy in this, which I think they should have, but maybe they're building up Jasper Troy for later. I'll watch it. I'm not really that excited about it. The match of the night's going to be the Falls Count Anywhere, Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, in my opinion. I think Saul Ruka and Izzy Dame will be really good. Have no desire to see Jordan Grace wrestle. It's just me. Sorry.
You love Jordan Grace, don't I?
And then on the same day, which you can say what you want, but WWE counter-programmed AEW on purpose, put 2 events on the same day as AEW Stadium Show. AEW All In. The tag titles, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin coming in as champions against Jet Speed, which is Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, against the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. I don't know if they're going to change the titles. I think they're going to keep it on the Hurt Syndicate until they build a bigger team up to go against them. They could pull something off, but I don't think they're going to. Unless MJF screws up and costs them the belts, which is highly possible. The TNT title, Adam Cole coming in as champion against Kyle Fletcher. AEW has good pay-per-views with good matches. I'm sure it'll be a good match. This one I'm very interested in. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay against the Young Bucks. If the Young Bucks lose, they lose their EVP titles. If Swerve and Ospreay lose, both of them can't challenge for the World Heavyweight title for a year. I don't see them doing that.
No.
Because they're going with Will Ospreay at some point. I see the Young Bucks losing their EVP, titles. But, and then they could be whiny little bitches like they have been, but even more so. They're doing a women's casino gauntlet for a women's title shot, and then they're doing a men's casino gauntlet. It's basically to get everybody on the roster on the stadium show. I'm not mad at it. You look at WrestleMania 3, there was 14 matches and they lasted 5 minutes apiece just to get everybody on the roster. WrestleMania 4, they did the tournament and they did that Battle Royal, and a 20-man Battle Royal to get guys on the card. I'm not mad at it. For the men's casino gauntlet, though, Mark Briscoe is number 1, MJF is number 2. If you think, it's, a gauntlet match, that's not good. The way the gauntlet match is set up, number 1 and number 2, you can pin somebody before the next person even gets in the ring. So I kind of like that, that aspect of it. Winner take all, Continental Champion against International Champion, Okada versus Kenny Omega. In my opinion, this match cannot live up to the hype of their former matches.
No.
If you watch 2017, 2018 Kenny Omega Okada matches, this match isn't even going to come close. Both guys are not those guys anymore. I'm sure it'll be a good match, but it's not going to be what they want it to be. So winner takes all, it'll be the unified title. From what I've understood, Tony Khan said they might carry 3 belts. They might just carry 1 belt, but they're going to have the Continental, Championship tournament later in the year. So what? I don't know. I think that's the perfect vehicle to bring Eddie Kingston back and have him win it for a second time. I think that would be awesome because he hasn't been on for over a year. The women's world title, Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm coming in as champion. Do not have Mercedes Moné win the title. She has 6 belts right now, including one of your other women's title, the TBS title. Don't have her win. She's undefeated. Have Toni Storm win. Stupid. She does not need it. She is not who you think she is. She is not what you need for that women's division. Toni Storm is on fire right now. You can be bringing up other women. Mercedes does not need it. Do not do it. Do not make her... She's already the Charlotte Flair of your women's division. Mm-hmm. Don't go any farther with it. It's not my company. I'm just saying, as a wrestling fan that watches your show and likes it, do not do it. And then the main event, a Texas death match for the AEW World Title. The champion Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. This is going to be a brutal match. I mean, the last Texas death match that Adam Page was in, he drank Swerve Strickland's blood out of his own head. I mean, he literally laid underneath him and just let the blood gush into his mouth and drank it. I mean, what do you think Jon Moxley, who one of his best friends is Nick Gage, the king of the death match, is going to do with Adam Page in a Texas death match? And Moxley's been carrying around that world title in a briefcase. You haven't seen it for months. You got to pull the trigger on Adam Page. Somebody's got to beat Moxley because the Death Rider stuff is death. It sucks. So I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait to watch it. But they're trying to do good, but some of the stuff is just bad. And then they're bringing back the all-women's pay-per-view Evolution, which will be taking on place Sunday the 13th. So
took them long enough to bring it back.
Right. For the NXT Women's title, Jacy Jayne against Jordynne Grace. The winner goes on to Slammiversary to go title for title against Masha Slamovich. I think it's going to be Jordynne Grace. She's got the legacy in TNA. I just don't see them having Jacy Jayne do that, but maybe they will. The Women's World title, this one I think is going to be a really, really good match. Io Sky coming in as champion against Rhea Ripley. Those two are just going to... Yes. They're going to bust their ass. The women's tag match, this I do not care about whatsoever. The Judgment Day, which is now Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, they are the champions, against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Ugh. And then two other teams to be determined. So a four-way. No interest whatsoever. It's a chance to get the women on the card. I get it. But I don't care. Then they're doing a battle royal for a women's world title match.
Can Charlotte just... I don't care about them having Alexa Bliss in it. Just keep Charlotte the fuck away from the ring.
Yep.
For good.
I concur. A battle royal for a women's world title match at Clash in Paris. This one I think could be really good. WWE Women's title. Tiffany Stratton, the champion, against Trish Stratus. Trish can still go. She still looks good. I'm interested in that. Not interested in Nikki Bella being part of the Battle Royal, but at least Nikki Bella doesn't have a singles match.
Thank God.
I wouldn't be surprised if she wins the Battle Royal, which would suck, but, if you do the ultimate thing, if you have AJ Lee be the final person to come out, her music hits and she wins that Battle Royal, that place will go fucking insane. And I hope it happens. I really, really do. No holds barred, Naomi against Jade Cargill. I think that could be a really good match. I don't really care about Naomi, but I think that could be really good. Jade Cargill, is now the Queen of the Ring, so that's pretty cool. And then I think this is going to be really good too. A triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental title. The champion Becky Lynch against Bayley against Lyra Valkyria.
Ooh.
I think that's going to be good as well. I think that's a solid pay-per-view other than Charlotte Flair being involved.
Right.
And then this one is not happening till a week after that. TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view. I mentioned it before, title versus title. The NXT Women's title versus the Knockouts title. Masha Slamovich, the Knockouts champion, versus Jacy Jayne or Jordynne Grace. So I think it's going to be Jordynne Grace, but... Then the Knockouts tag titles, the Elegance brand coming in as the champions against the Inspiration, who were the Iconics in WWE. I'm glad they're beefing up their women's tag division. I really think they need to put some teams together from NXT to go in that division as well. I think with this partnership, it should not just be NXT and TNA. You've got a lot of guys with TNA pedigree in WWE on the main roster, I really think you need to start. AJ Styles going back to TNA for one match would just be fucking bonkers. CM Punk was in TNA in 2003 for a little while. Him showing up, and especially if you're going to get them a TV deal, main roster guys showing up on TNA would be awesome. It would be great to try, a lead up into them getting a TV deal.
Hell, even Abyss making an appearance.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I think this next match is going to be really good. Mustafa Ali against Cedric Alexander. I think that'll be good. This match I don't care about, not because of one participant, but because of the other. Indy Hartwell against Tessa Blanchard. Don't care. Don't want to see Tessa Blanchard. I'll watch it because I hope Indy Hartwell wins, but I don't think they're going to do a damn thing with Tessa Blanchard. It's been, 6 months since she came back, and they haven't done a damn thing with her. I think they realize that the backlash that they're getting because of her is not worth it. So I think you make her champion, you're going to see even more backlash. So
definitely.
This match, I think you need to watch as well. A 4-way ladder match for the tag team titles. The Nemeth brothers, Nick and Ryan Nemeth, as the champions, against the Hardy Boys, against the Rascals, against First Class, which is AJ Francis, who was Top Dollar in WWE, and Casey Navarro. I saw Casey Navarro at a Northeast Wrestling show against Mustafa Ali. It might have been last year. And he's really, really good, so I think that's going to be crazy. I mean, I'm sure AJ Francis is going to be the power guy, helping hold the ladder for all the crazy shit. I'm hoping Jeff Hardy doesn't do something stupid, but he probably will. But I think that's going to be a crazy match, and I hope they give that a lot of time. This one, I think, could be the sleeper match of the show. Leon Slater against Moose for the X Division title. I like Moose as the X Division champion. The whole thing of it's not about weight limits, it's about no limits. Samoa Joe was the X Division champion for almost a year. Abyss was the NXT or the X Division champion for a while. I really like that dynamic of the small guy beating the big guy to get the title that is generally considered the small guy's title. I really like it. Moose has had a stranglehold on it for a long time. Have Leon Slater be the guy. I really think that'll be good. And then the main event for the TNA title, Trick Williams from NXT, who is the TNA champion right now, against Mike Santana against Joe Hendry. I truly think they're going to pull the trigger on Mike Santana. He got a huge ovation when he showed up in NXT. He's really over in TNA. And I think Joe Hendry is getting that call to go to the main roster of WWE. I don't think they're going to have Joe Hendry get it back. I think it's going to be Mike Santana. And then they're going to fold Joe Hendry right over in NXT and have him kind of do stuff in TNA as well. But they've had their eye on Joe Hendry for a while, and I think he's just going to go to the main roster of WWE. I mean, he got that match with Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You can tell that WWE has huge plans for him. So I think it's going to be Mike Santana. But
pull the trigger.
Yeah, I agree.
Should we talk about who was right with Baby Umaga winning?
Oh yeah, you called it. Solo Sikoa winning the winning the U.S. title. Yeah, I thought the Night of Champions was good. The Saudi Arabia ones are just kind of yeah. I mean, there were good matches and the crowd was hot. Before, when they did the first one, it was mostly like the royal family and people that kind of knew what wrestling was. But now you're getting, ever since they had WWE World over there in Saudi Arabia, there's a lot more wrestling fans over there now, so the crowd was really vocal. And I would imagine they had people coming in from other parts of the Middle East as well. And they might have had people flying in, so it was good. I'm not a big fan of the Saudi ones. I mean, the best thing about the Saudi ones was when Titus O'Neil fell, accidentally, so. But, and then they got the Clash in Paris coming up. I mean, my God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 events on one weekend, and then Slammiversary a week later. Oh. That's a lot, and that's not counting the weekly TV shows of Raw, SmackDown, AEW Collision, Dynamite, TNA Impact.
We got so much to
Ring of Honor. All of that going on within a 1 week period.
We got a lot to cover.
That's a lot. I spend my breaks on my lunch break at work watching, a lot of this just to catch up on some of it.
I had to do that today.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. As a wrestling fan, there's a lot of stuff to watch, and we have the old school stuff going on right now.
Yes.
I'm so happy that we get to talk about this. I love doing this show, especially with him, because, we love this stuff. I mean, I grew up with the 80s and the 90s. He was born in the 90s, so he's growing up with the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression. We're able to speak on all of it, so I really enjoy it.
Speaking of a great freaking hardcore match, this has been a great hardcore match so far. Yeah,
the Big Boss Man and Al Snow. That was
they had such a great feud.
They did. I really liked Al Snow's feud with Road Dogg, too.
Yes.
In this year. But follow all our social media at Cheap Pop Show. We got cheappops.com, which is pretty much just a gateway for our social media. But cheappops.redbubble.com for our merchandise. We've got new logos up there, and I've got more to put up. We're going to do more. I kind of want to do these on a every other week, basis, but sometimes that's hard to do. We kind of, maybe 2 or 3 weeks in between the last one and this one. So thanks for checking the show out. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. And, thanks a lot for checking out Cheap Pops.
Pop eyes out.